Pisces, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. In this video, every single week, I review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun and what that means for your bottom line. To enjoy this video, all you need to know is your birth date. That's it. You just need to know your birth date because I'll translate everything else for you. We're going to start out really broad with like the big stuff, like the sort of global stuff or what's impacting everybody. And then I will focus down on Pisces specific information that all of you should know, you should be aware of. And then I will break things down into the 3 decans of Pisces. And a decan is a group of 10 degrees. And by breaking it down into groups of 10 degrees, I can tell what aspect is forming to your natal suns, because not the same aspect isn't forming to all of your natal suns. In fact, you guys have a very, very diverse range of how you're interacting with different planets, how your natal suns are interacting with different planets now. I think it's you guys that are the most extreme because you've got Saturn in the first decan and you've got Neptune in the third. And those are probably the most dynamically different energies in the zodiac. And so what we're going to do is go through step by step to show how all the other planets are interacting with your natal suns based on the angles that they form to those other planets, which are called aspects. An aspect is a relationship formed between 2 planets based on the angle that they form to each other. So let's get into this. This is for the week of July 19th through the 25th. I got it all written down. Are you one of those people? Tell me this, because I am one of those people. If I don't write it down, it doesn't get in my head. So, got to write it down. And typing doesn't do it for me. Voice recordings don't do it for me. I got to actually write it down. So, I've always got my notes. If you see me looking down, that's why. Let's get into the big stuff, Pisces, because there's a lot of stuff happening this week. This is a highly activated time, and it all started with the new moon on the 17th. So this is July 19th, though. What's going on July 19th? Well, the nodes are in new locations now. They have entered into new zodiac signs, but they're still squaring Pluto and squaring the sun. So all week long there is a grand square in the sky, and I call the grand squares pressure cookers. This angry or frustrated agitation that is pushing and pressuring in order to turn us stronger and finally release energy, hopefully for the better, which also includes the sun opposite to Pluto, which is also a very big energy. It's a formidable energy. It's an I'm going to get what I want kind of energy. It's I don't take no shit kind of energy. It's relentless and perhaps ruthless kind of energy. We're making these changes no matter what. But it's also, since it's the sun, it means making a change to humanity, to who we are, to our egos, to how we see ourselves, and transformations that are all going to start to happen to us based on this new kind of perspective that we're getting as the nodes shift. Since it's all connected, the nodes shifted from Scorpio into Libra, that's the south node, and then from Taurus into Aries, that's the north node. So now our focus is on partnership versus singularity, independence versus togetherness. And the truth is, they're not separate things. The nodes don't represent 2 different diametrically opposite things. They represent one path and a start and a beginning. And the secret to the nodes is calibrating that energy so it's even, so it's balanced. And so we got to start working on it. And this focus for the next 18 months is going to, you'll see it. It's going to be about the duality that exists between the individual versus the partnership. And how do we balance those 2 things out so they actually are even and equal instead of, dysfunctional and unhealthy. Whew, we have a lot of other stuff too. Don't worry about it. On the 22nd, we have a grand trine forming right on top of this grand square. It's a grand trine in earth signs. So it's a grand trine between Pluto, Uranus, and the moon in Virgo. So we have this energy of like getting right with our emotions and maybe surprising ourselves with just how like we allow ourselves to be, or just how much we care in some ways, or that we are sort of relaxed and settled in. It's almost like of how allowing we can be with things that are more emotional and taboo. So this is a really interesting day, and I think it's a day to watch. On the 23rd, we have the sun transiting from Cancer into Leo. So happy Leo season. That's going to be great, right? Well, I don't know. It is going to be great, but two things are happening to Leo. The sun is opposite Pluto when it transits into Leo. So that's an extra thud that especially Leo ones are going to get, but it's an extra like push of extreme not sensitive, but dominating energy. And then we also have Venus going into retrograde on the 23rd. And Venus is going to be retrograde in Leo for, I think, like 40 days or something like that. Crazy. A long time. So Venus retrograde in Leo, well, we got to look over our books. We got to look over our value. What have we valued? Have we overvalued things? Have we put too much value on glamour and not enough on actual quality? It's something that we're going to have to review, and I think it's going to be predominantly financial, but you could actually surprise yourself in relationships and romance too, just seeing value where you haven't seen it before. There's so much going on, Pisces. So much. Hold on, I got you. On the 20th, we have Mercury. Mercury is squared Uranus and trine to Chiron. Mercury trine to Chiron is about sort of finding peace with criticism, finding peace with different ways that we've suffered in terms of our own thoughts, or the way people have talked to us. And then a square to Uranus, a square between Mercury and Uranus could shut down like technology. It could really mess up, especially things like social media, or it could be a conduit for some really uncomfortable information. So watch around the 20th for that. We have Venus that is all week long trine to the North Node and sextile to the South Node, which means her retrograde is really a part of us recalibrating that duality between partnership and individuality. Like it's all about our value systems, and we have to reassess our values. Like that's what it's about. Sorry. Another biggie we have here revolves around Mars, actually. He's in an active seat this week. Mars is opposite Saturn, which happened last week, and creates very contentious and resentful energy, if not angry energy, because it feels like I can't move because I'm constantly being restricted with what is, or the rules or obligations, and I'm tired of that crap. And then we have, but we also have Mars trine Jupiter this week, which means anything I take action on, even if it's against the rules, not hurting somebody, but even if I have to defy reality, even if I have to believe my fantasies, as opposed to staying stuck and letting reality confine me, I'm going to take that leap. And it's going to be the best leap you've ever made, because Mars trine Jupiter, it's the time to take action. Because anything you take action during Mars trine Jupiter, this is going to be some excellent outcomes. I'm just letting you know. We also have the North Node conjunct to Chiron. North Node conjunct to Chiron is really interesting energy. It's in a loose conjunction right now to Chiron. It'll get closer to Chiron, and Chiron will get closer to it as they move along. But it's in about a 10-degree conjunction with Chiron. What does that mean? It's sort of the energy that says, I'm not going to let anything bad happen to somebody the way it happened to me. It's kind of the hero mentality. This is really beautiful energy, actually. And that could really awaken, especially something deep inside everybody that says, I want to make it better. I don't want to make it the same. I want to improve, because I think you're going to see the rise of the hero, the rise of the individual that stands up for what's right, even at great personal risk. I think we're going to do it, especially over the next 6 months. We're going to see it. I'm just saying, I need a hero. I think we all do. And a hero is a normal person that just rises to the occasion. It's not about dominance or taking over. It's legitimately just about, it's like seeing the goodness and seeing what's right so clearly that whatever it is, you're just gonna do it. You're just gonna take the risk and make it happen, because you know that if you don't, people will have to suffer the way you have, and you just can't let that happen. So it's really interesting energy that I think nobody's really talking about, but more of us should be. Let's get into Pisces specific energy, shall we? For Pisces specific energy, I look at, hey, what's going on in Pisces, in the zodiac sign of Pisces, which we talked about a little bit. And then I look at what's going on with your ruling dignitaries. That's why you have two. You have a traditional ruler, which is Jupiter. And then you have your modern ruler, which is Neptune. And Neptune really is so much more fine-tuned to Pisces energy. But Jupiter really also speaks to the optimism and the openness to learning and to God. Jupiter is a very spiritual energy, and so is Neptune. And so Pisces is really that place of spirituality, not religion, but a connection to the ethereal, the connection to the immortal, without question, with just full acceptance. It's like Pisces energy accepts things are mysterious, and it's okay with it, because as long as you're connected to it, you don't have to ask how. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's go with this. Maybe you don't know what I'm saying. Let's put it this way. In a society filled with telepaths, everybody who's telepathic and empathic, in a society that's filled with them, that it's just their natural ability, they would have never invented the internet. In a lot of ways, the technology that we have created is almost our wheelchairs, because we are handicapped in ways, and we lack connection, especially. Pisces doesn't look for the answers or the inner workings to manipulate and to recreate externally, because Pisces is connected. It doesn't need the quantifiable answers, because it's got the qualifiable answers. That's the difference between Pisces and the rest of reality. So let's get into this. Neptune is in a very powerful position, and I've been looking into this a lot. I'm going to do a blog about it, so check me out over on my website, because it's very, very profound. Neptune and Pluto are trying to each other. Yeah, and this is a powerful energy, dude. Powerful. This time around, Pluto is also trine it to Uranus, which throws in a whole nother curveball. But every single time Neptune has been sextile to Pluto, there has been a huge technological push or advancement that happens in society. Like stuff that actually changes how we live on this planet. Big time. Usually with nuclear energy. And the fact that it's trying to Uranus now definitely means tech. It definitely means a breakthrough that is going to be proven through mathematics. I mean, it's got 13 years to do it, guys. Something's going to give. Now, we also have Neptune semi-square to Jupiter this week, which can be very distracting and distractible energy, this sense of our mind scattering in 1,000 different directions and just being so broad we almost can't keep up with it. I would say in some ways let it happen, but don't be so optimistic that it's going into the pretend world, right? Find a way to tether yourself to something that is quantifiable to help you rein in your brain and be able to not get distracted, We also have Jupiter. Well, Jupiter is semi-square to Neptune, which we just talked about, which is interesting because your ruling dignitaries are semi-square to each other. So it's almost like these different aspects of yourself. Your fascination with the imagination and creativity and the mysterious rubbing up against the possibility to expand into the real world. Jupiter is real world expansion, and Neptune is beyond that. And there is this stubbornness that is struggling between the two right now for the next couple of weeks. Just an FYI. Jupiter is also trine to Mars, however, which is, opportunity when it comes to action. So you better take action. And maybe that stupid fairy tale, crazy ass mind of yours is going to be why you take the risks that you take, or why you take the actions that you take. Because sometimes you need to fake it till you make it, and you need to believe the fantasy to actually get anything into action. And you know what? This is a great week to catalyze and begin transforming any kind of dreams or aspirations into reality. Let's get into what's going on with Pisces. Pisces, like I said, has the most dynamic difference right now because Saturn is at 6 degrees Pisces, so it's conjunct to the suns of Pisces 1, and Neptune is at 27 degrees Pisces. It's home domicile, and it's conjunct the suns of the third decan Pisces. So first decan Pisces are very much kind of grounded and taking things more seriously and having a more mature, pragmatic approach to the world, taking more authority in the real world. And those Neptunian conjunct Pisces that are at the end of Pisces season, dreams, creativity, harmony, music, this creative and psychic ability push in a way that you may never have imagined before, especially since your natal suns are sextile to Pluto. It's going to blow you away, having insights that seemed unreal, and they are not unreal. And this is going to be for the next 13 years. Can you say fucking Einstein? That's crazy shit. Einstein was a Pisces, FYI. Let's get into the decans, shall we? If you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Pisces, that means it's in the first decan of Pisces. You guys are Pisces 1. In terms of birth dates, that correlates to February Pisces. I believe Pisces begins around the 20th or the 19th of February, since February is a shortened month. So it would be like the 19th, 20th of February through the 29th of February, maybe through the 1st of March, especially when there's only 28 days in February on those leap years. No, leap years is the 29, right? So it's usually up through the 1st of March. That would be your birth date range. Your natal suns are sextile to Saturn. So this is about getting things done and being more serious about things, but people taking you more seriously. And that's for the next year or so. And so really use that to your advantage. This week you have a quincunx to the sun, so there could be something agitating or frustrating your ego or getting in your face about stuff that maybe you don't want to address. Your natal suns are also in opposition to Mars right now. That's frustrating energy. It's impulsivity and quick to anger. So please be very wary and try to find ways of self-care. And if you're snapping at people and getting more resentful, it's because of this interaction, and it's going to be there through the 30th of July. So having strategies to be compassionate with yourself and be more compassionate with others will really help this energy not wreck you, because it can make you more angry, impulsive, more accusatory, and take more risks, especially with your actual body, that will injure you. So be wary of that, please. And if you're at the cusp, only if you're at the cusps, and this would be like those 19th, 20th, maybe 21st of February, guys, the Aquarius Pisces cuspers, your natal suns are actually in opposition to Venus in retrograde. Venus goes into retrograde on the 23rd, and you'll feel that. You'll feel this opposition to Venus, this trembling in what you qualify as valuable, this maybe having to go over your books or the way that you spend money, or, come up when it comes to relationship issues that you have to face. all of those will start for you now and will not end for a while. I mean, not for a year, like, I mean, a couple of weeks. So this could be very frustrating energy for a while for you guys. Just an FYI, cuspers. So it won't last that long, but maybe a week, but just an FYI. Jupiter. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say this. Pisces 2. Let's move on to Pisces 2. If you know that your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Pisces, it's in the second decan of Pisces, and you're Pisces 2. In terms of birthdays, that's March 2nd through the 10th or 11th. That would be you guys. Your natal suns are sextile to Jupiter. That's freaking awesome, especially since Jupiter is trying to mark. Dude, take action. Just start something. Anything you start right now is so blessed. You must fucking do it. I mean, 100%. Don't even hesitate about that shit. Do it. Take action on it. Do it now. There's blessings that will come. If things will go smoothly, more smoothly than you expect, you must. Through the 22nd of this week, your natal suns are also quincunx to Mercury. That could mean that there's some confusion or frustration when it comes to not hearing back from people or paperwork not coming in on time. Don't expect any of that important stuff to actually be able to get done until after the 22nd. But generally speaking, great time to move forward. Great time. Really, really lucky and fortunate time. Pisces 3s. Your natal suns would be located between 20 and 29 degrees Pisces. This would correlate to the birth dates that are, say, from March 12th through the 22nd. March 12th through the 22nd. Definitely the Aries cuspers. Definitely. I wrote down here on the 22nd, it's going to be an extra moody day because your natal suns are going to be in opposition to the moon. However, it's not just the moon, because on the 22nd is when that grand trine between Pluto, the moon, and Uranus forms. And the fact that your suns are in opposition to it could mean that there is some difficult stuff that will come up, or like you'll be right in the middle of this will kind of rock your world, whatever sort of relaxation happens on that day. It could really create a disturbance or make you question your sense of even reality. So this is the 22nd. Your natal suns are conjunct to Neptune, which means you're already more creative and psychic, and that's going to be for a while, finding those sort of abilities in yourself. Dreamy, this is what I wrote down. Because your natal suns are conjunct to Neptune, and there's an opposition to this moon that is part of a grand trine with Pluto and Uranus. Expect to be dreamy, easily distracted, tired, but also extremely psychic and extremely almost clairvoyant. And I would write down any visions that you have that day, or dreams that you have, or ideas that you have, because it'll be straight out of a place of genius. Just an FYI. We have a long-term sextile to Uranus, which means you're already really like tech-oriented and brilliant and not scared at all about thinking outside the box and solving ingenuitive. That's what it is. Your natal suns are trine to the sun this week, so that is a blessing, which means you'll have confidence and courage and extra creativity brought to light. It could be that you get a wonderful opportunity on the 22nd that you can't even believe what happened. Your quincunx to Venus, though, so there could be some financial frustration or romantic frustration that's agitating the crap out of your week. Sextile to Pluto means the small stuff really ain't going to get in your way, because you're on a mission to change your life. That's what it is. And then the Yeah, that's it. That's it. Wrote something down wrong. That's it. So you let me know in the comments below how all this energy is impacting you, and then subscribe to the channel, please, so that we grow over here. And then come on over to Born Without Boundaries Pisces. You guys have your own channel for all Pisces all the time. Come explore that and watch your week ahead tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.